The Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library is known for many things. We have the library itself, we have the Green Legacy, but we cannot just talk about the Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library Cinemas. And today I am here with the founder, the person, the number one person in OPL Cinemas. He is the longest serving president of the country. His Excellency Chief Olusegun Aremu Obasanjo. It's a pleasure having him here today. Sitting with you, sir, it's a big pleasure. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation and having to sit with you. All right, then, sir. Your Excellency, you are, as the longest serving president, both as the military head of state and as a two-term democratic elected president. You have this keen interest in youth and youth development. When we talk about the Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library, we cannot but talk about the Youth Development Center. So here's the question. Why the interest in youth?
Youth is the most important part of any human being's life. Yorubas take youth period as a vital period in the development of any person. Igba ewe. That's the youth period. Because whatever you miss at that stage in your development may be missed forever. Therefore, the youth period requires all the ingredients of developing character. Having education, having the right interaction, having the right connection, having the right orientation. And if any of these goes wrong, it may affect a person for the rest of his or her life. And that's why I take it as very, very important that we give youth their due attention, due proportion of resources, both family resources and what I will call national resources. That's one reason. Another reason is that they form the bulk of our population. Youth form the bulk of our population. And if you have to take care of the present and the future, your attention must be sufficient and sufficient for the youth and sufficiently placed on the youth. And if we want to make things better, those who will make it better are the youth. Because they have the number in the democracy, and you need the number. They are more exposed in terms of the, what I would call the trending materials and the trending issues. For instance, what they can do with this digital age is different from what I can do. And of course, if you want your nation to move along with other nations in technology, in science, in all aspects of digitalization, you have to pay attention to youth. So I believe that the right amount of attention, the right amount of resources, the right amount of preparation must be given to the youth so that their time is constructively and positively spent. Constructively and positively spent. Otherwise, when they have no positive things occupying their time and their mind and their hands, they become devils.
Workshop.
So everything that should be done to keep youth positive, progressive, and realistically and relevantly occupied should be done.
Interesting one there. So, talking about the Youth Development Center, what comes to mind when you hear the YDC, Olusegun Obasanjo Youth Development Center? What's the vision? What's the mission? What's the target?
The target is the totality of a development of youth, and the name says it all. Youth Development Center. Let me start. When I was growing up in the 1940s and 50s, we used to have what they call youth clubs.
What was it like?
There wasn't much in it. Little things. We play table tennis, we play football, we have debate, and we have entertainment. And what do we use in entertainment in those days? There's this, what they call orange squash. It's a sort of juice that you buy a bottle and you put it in about half a bucket of water, and it's still sweet.
What?
Yes. They call it orange squash.
Interesting.
And we buy that and we drink with biscuit, and wonderful. That's entertainment.
And that was fun for you.
Yeah.
Then.
But suddenly, youth club disappeared. It's a place where youth come and have interaction with other youth, positive, and really lively interaction. Now, I thought we can recreate that sort of thing in our youth development center. Today, youth prepare themselves, and they also need to be prepared with skills so that they can be self-employed or be employed by others, but with some form of skills. our Youth Development Center takes care of that. 2 or 3, after you have acquired skill, you need a startup. And our Youth Development Center had some facilities for credit for you to start up a small business. And they will also monitor you and mentor you. So our Youth Development Center has facilities for recreation, facilities for training, facility for starting your own business. And facilities for growing in your business, and facility for you to be mentored in your business. So you can see, and we try that here on OPL grant, and it has been tremendously successful. Can we replicate it elsewhere? We are thinking of, okay, if this one we have here, if you like, as a prototype, can we have more elsewhere in Africa, and maybe elsewhere in Ogun State, and maybe
all over the country,
elsewhere in the country? That is the idea.
Interesting one. And now that you've clearly stated your interest in youth, what Youth Development Center stands for, now let's talk about the cinemas, the OPL Cinema.
Well, if you remember, I said entertainment, something to keep you amused, something to give you interaction with other people. And the good thing about cinema is that you are entertained and you also learn. A good cinema entertains you and relaxes.
True.
It also, you learn the story. And as the story develops, you can learn how it goes on, what lessons. It's just like what we used to do when we are growing up in the village. We have stories, we have folklore, all to teach us virtues and values, what we should not do and what we should do, what is taboo and what is acceptable. And from a good cinema, you learn a lot of lessons in addition to being entertained. So the idea is for the youth to be engaged positively and also be entertained
at the same time. Interesting one there. So let's talk about the new outlet at J Place.
As I said, what we had or what we have here on the OPL ground. For the first, it was a trial.
Okay.
It was for us to see how it will go. And we can say that what we have here has succeeded.
Sure.
It has met our aspiration entertain and to make people learn, develop, and to have a sort of youth club. So we want to then take it further afield. And Aje Place, whereas we have one cinema hall here, Aje Place we have 2 cinema halls.
Wow.
Aje Place we have more room for interaction. We'll be able to hold meetings and have clubhouse, relaxation, and all that. A little bit more than what
you have here.
So it is, we are learning as we go along, so that the objective of keeping youth positively engaged and passionately so, mentally, physically, psychologically, is being achieved. Because they will have enough to keep them occupied, both in terms of entertainment, in terms of training and acquisition of skill, in terms of starting their own business and being employed, either self-employed or because of the skill they have, getting employed. That is what
interesting
we are doing in Aje Place.
Interesting. Your Excellency, sir. Talking about Aje Place, a few would have thought that the name would still be OPL Cinemas or OPL Outlet, but Aje Place. And looking at the interpretation of the name Aje, for a typical Yoruba person, the first thing that comes to mind is wealth, goodness of wealth, and other wealth-related interpretations. Is that the meaning of that name, Aje Place, or you have a different interpretation to it?
Well, you are right. Aje means wealth.
Yes, it does.
In Yoruba. But my mother's name is Aje.
Wow.
And that place is named after my mother. Aje Onisogboyi. That's how my mother used to be addressed.
Interesting. Wow.
Aje is well. That was my mother's name. So I decided to name that place
After your mother.
Aje.
That's a beautiful one there, sir. So, OPL Cinemas, they've mentioned, hasn't been, I would like to use the word sufficient enough to serve the whole of Ogun State, Abeokuta. So, thereby leading to Aje Place. Still, I would like to say that there are more grounds to be covered.
A lot more grounds to be covered.
Yes, in Abeokuta and Ogun State.
Ogun State and further afield.
So should we be looking forward to that?
The point really is that nothing succeeds without success. And if you are going to make progress, take one step
At a time.
Be firm and learn from what you have, you need to learn from. Then take another step. Well, we started with a cinema in OPL.
Sure.
We have learned a lot of lessons from it. And as I said, Aje Place is slightly more advanced, if I can put it that way. More advanced, slightly more elaborate, more facilities. And we believe that as we move along and we get space, even those that will come in future will be, again, more advanced still, more facilities, more opportunities for
Yes.
the youth. So the idea is that we learn, we put what we have learned into practice and create something better. The one of today being better than the one of yesterday, and the one of tomorrow to be better than the one of today.
Okay, then.
That is, and as we go along, even when we get to a stage, we believe that we may even have to come back to the old ones and improve on them.
True.
And that particularly in things that are electronic and that type of thing, time is moving, and we have to move with time.
Sure. So why Mercy Road? I mean, many would have thought your next location will be the business hub of Abeokuta, popularly known as Ibara. We have popularly as Okelewo, pardon me there. Then we have Ibara and other beautiful axes. So why Mercy Road, Masheke?
Well, after we have decided that things are okay here, OPL Cinema, then we decided to go out of OPL. So the first thing that you need, of course, is land. Where can we get land? And we went round of the facilities that are easily available. And Mercy Road is the first facility of a piece of land that is available. But we are looking elsewhere. What do they call Ibadan Road?
That's Obanchiko axis.
Obanchiko axis. We will have to look at that. Laughing axis.
Laughing axis too.
People have said,
wow.
Well, look, Ayetoro, once you leave Laughing, where people are living in that.
They're out of town.
Well, it's not out of town. By the time you get to where they call, is it Rounder, they call it?
Yes.
Well, up to Rounder from Lafenwa is fully built up. And people they want something there. Don't forget, there's even a university in that area, Crescent
University.
Where youth need, again, to be, and a number of schools, again, along that area. I'm just saying we have to look at the whole of Abeokuta, and when we finish with that, we have to look outside.
Beyond.
We have to look at Ijebode. We have to look at Remo. We have to look at Egbado. We have to even go to areas like Ifo, Ota. Then we move out of Ogun State, outskirts of Lagos, nearer Ogun State. Are there areas that that we need to put in? We will look at all of that, and then going to Oyo State, going to Osun State, going to Ondo State.
Interesting.
Now, these are the plans. Some of these may have to be actualized behind me. But these are the plans. Of course, we must have plans of growth, of development. And once the plans are there, others will come and and
Thereafter.
actualize.
Interesting. Now that you have and you still have plans to invest in youth development initiatives, the entertainment centers for youth and all that. So can you say that you're satisfied so far with the impact that OPL Cinemas has had on youth as a place for you to converge in here in Abeokuta?
Yes. What we have now is still a drop in the ocean. But what makes water is little drops.
Drops in the ocean.
And as I have explained to you, we are not resting on our powers. Now we have done OPL, Agi Place. Who knows where the next one will be, and then the next one after that. But judging by what we have achieved here, like I said, we have been able to give some youth startup fund on credit, and they are doing well. We train people how to start business, how to carry on with their business, and we not only do we train them, we mentor them, and we monitor them. From what we have seen in that area, we have succeeded. But I will emphasize that, yes, that is still a drop in the ocean. What we need is to have many drops, not only by ourselves alone, but by others also joining in. Youth development, as the saying goes in Yoruba land and in other 4 eyes bring a child to the world, and it takes a village to
nurture the child.
Nurture and bring that child to adulthood. So that's Yoruba says 4 eyes bring a child to the world. 200 eyes bring the child and nurture the child to adulthood. And that's what we are doing.
Interesting one. So still talking about your investment in youth development initiative. We've talked about the cinemas. Do you have plans to go into other aspects of entertainment? Talking about the media?
Well, yes, anything that will help you. Entertainment as entertainment by itself is not the issue for us. Entertainment for a purpose. And what is the cinema for? Entertainment for a purpose, for engaging youth positively, actively, progressively, relevantly, and learning the right lesson for their life and helping them. Now, if other entertainments will do the same, serve the same purpose, we will go into it.
Yeah, interested in, because this that brings this follow-up question. While speaking with your cinema consultant, Mr. Ayo, he mentioned that you would wish to produce a biopic movie of yourself.
Well, if anybody wants to do a biopic, Ayo knows better than I will never, because I just live my life.
Okay.
If anybody wants to look at my life and say, there's something in it that can be put out for others to learn, for youth to take some lessons from, why not? And even if Ayo says, look, I will have to be
in the movie, you make yourself available, would you?
Character in that movie. and we say, okay, here I am, use me as you like, provided it will serve the purpose of youth development, youth investment in youth, and youth producing youth with character, virtue, and value that our nation needs.
Interesting. Just this last one, I have to ask this question, because while we're talking, you made mention of your days in the 1940s and how you have fun, how you entertain yourselves. You talked about a drink and all that, the youth club, you're trying to recreate that here. So let's do a little bit of comparison now. Could you compare and contrast life then as a youth and now?
Yes. Life then was moderate, very moderate, very unopen.
What do you mean by unopen?
Unopen, I mean, we didn't know what was happening in England.
You didn't know what was happening in England?
No, our world is more of a little world where we grow the community, our community. Today, you take your telephone, internet, you hear what is happening in England, what is happening in US, what is happening in India. Those days, if you are lucky to be where there will be radio.
If you are lucky
to be where there will be radio.
Interesting.
You hear news on radio. But otherwise, what do you hear? Nothing. So there's that. The world has become a village. Compared from when I was growing up. And today, as it happens, as anything happens anywhere in the world, you get it instantly. Now, that's one thing that has changed. Another thing that has changed is that as a result of this instant information from any part of the world, our culture is being encroached upon. Our culture is no longer as clean and clear as in my time, when there was very little, if at all, any encroachment on our culture. Maybe that is good, maybe not. Yes, culture is not static, it's dynamic.
True.
But there are aspects of our culture that I believe those aspects that are very important, that are authentically our own, and we must preserve. And there's such aspect of our culture that make us different. Let me give you a couple of examples. The Yorubas have names. You will never hear a Yoruba man calling his child Iggy. No, you will never have.
No.
Or Okuta. No. The white man will have Mr. Stone.
Yeah.
We will even have Mr. Tree. Now, in our own culture, we say that Ilila wo, which means you look at the circumstances through which a child is born before you give the name. And the name is meaningful. Olusegun, God wins. Now, there are circumstances that my family, my parents have gone through before they gave me that name. Olanrewaju. Now, that a meaningful name. That's one thing in our culture. Another thing in our culture is greetings. There is no language that I know that has as much greetings and salutations as the Yoruba have. When you are eating, there's way to greet you. When you are even sleeping, there's way to greet you. I always wonder whether you are supposed to answer. When you are sleeping and they say, Asunjio. Now, what does he expect you to do? It's prayer that you may you sleep and wake up well. But that's greeting. Another thing that in our culture is Oriki. Now, I don't know of any other society or community in Africa, not even to talk of the world, that have the type of Oriki that we have. And it's part of our culture. So I believe that certain things have changed. Certain things are changing. There are certain things that we must not sacrifice.
You don't think that those things are evolving and not necessarily changing?
Well, if evolving, you will call it. Maybe some are changing. Some are changing. Evolving, yes. Some are changing.
Because I said, I used the word.
Let me say, for instance, the honor and respect that is given to marriage when I was growing up is changing. I won't call that not the same honor and respect that was given to marriage in my youth is being given to marriage
now.
That's a change. And again, that is intrusion of some people will call it civilization.
Civilization, exactly.
But intrusion of what I would call modernity or erosion of our culture from outside. But it's probably one of those things that we have to live with. As I said, in a world that has become a village.
Wow. Thank you very much, sir, for that insight and for sitting and speaking with me today. It's a pleasure sitting with you, sir, Your Excellency.
Thank you.